live.
And it is not doing anything. Oh, here.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay. And we are live.
Welcome, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Coach Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And folks, today we're having an amazing show.
We're having something. I don't know how amazing it is, but we're having something. You're right about that.
We don't know what's going on here, folks. Somehow the audio fairy and the audio and the video fairy decide to join us and take over our broadcast or our stream. So we'll just share it with them today. But for those of you who are just tuning in, this is the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We're on every Friday from 3 to 4:30. And today, folks, we're going to have an amazing guest on the show. But in the meantime, my co-host and I, we're going to have a little crosstalk. So, my co-host, how are you doing today?
I'm fine. It's just like, I don't know what kind of day this is, but Amber is in the back. So, Amber, if you heard all of that, we apologize. But our streaming network kind of did some changes and they didn't give us any preemptive notices.
No notification.
No notification. So we are winging it today. We had to go find our intro. So while we're interviewing Amber, we're going to be finding our outro. It's somewhere in here. But welcome, everyone. Glad to have you on this interesting, crazy. You would think this is a Friday the 13th.
See, these are some of the challenges that entrepreneur and small businesses go through, guys. So you gotta always be ready. Gotta always be ready for these types of challenges.
Right, and not panic and throw your computer in the streaming and everything out the window going, what the heck has happened up in here?
That is why we're so flexible, we're so nimble, and we're always in the ready positions, guys, because you never know when something is going to act up your streaming provider. They decide to switch things around on you.
True that. So, we will get through this show. We will get through the show. It just might be a little challenging, so you guys got to put up with us. But we do have an amazing guest today, and she's going to come in. And this is fantastic because next month is Mother's Day. Women have been under attack for I don't even know how we got to be one of the, what do you call it when they're electing? When you have your platform or whatever your message is, whatever they call that. Somehow or another, we got on the chopping board, and so it means that we're going to have to upload. We're going to have to uplift the sisters ourselves because somehow or another, men are not liking us too much right now, Gilbert. Certain men.
Man, I tell you, man, it's crazy. It is crazy the thing that's going on out there.
It is. But here's something that's even crazier that I heard as I was coming back from the bank today. Outside of, they're having the trying to pull together the jury for the trial for the Orange Man. And some man actually set himself on fire outside of the courthouse today.
What?
Now that is about as insane as you can get.
So he's setting himself on fire in protest of the former president?
Yes, and the
Holy,
trial.
holy moly!
That- I mean
We
that
need more of those,
that is going to bat for what you believe in when you set
man.
your own body on fire. And he is in serious critical condition.
That's a true believer right there.
That is a true
Now,
believer.
now, did it happen by accident or did he just purposely say, "Hey, this is what I'm doing right now"?
Well, according to what I was listening to, this is what he said he did. He threw up his pamphlets, his
Oh,
protest pamphlets, and
wow!
he set himself on fire.
Holy moly!
I don't even know. I don't even know what kind of craziness that is. That's on a whole nother kind of level.
Well, he must not have a family because if he did have a family, he'd be thinking about that family, how they're gonna react to that, how they're gonna feel. If he's the breadwinner, what happens to them. So I don't know. Maybe he doesn't have a family.
I don't understand what is happening with people and how people are so gullible and just follow in. My mom used to say, and I'm sure because I think this was in the Black Child Rearing Manual that
Yeah,
all Black parents got.
yeah,
And when you go to do something dumb
yeah.
and you'd say so and so is doing it, and she'd say, what the heck? If so and so took his little crazy and jumped off a bridge, you gonna follow him? So I know that's what I heard in my family, and I know all my cousins. So I'm gonna say that is in the black parent handbook for raising children. Did you
see,
ever hear that?
see, that alone is enough to give us a wake up call, man. Because when you hear your mom say that, it gets you thinking. You go, I guess if I see Mary jumping, I shouldn't be jumping then. This is crazy, man. This
Oh
is
Lord. And then
crazy.
they turn around and say, I didn't raise no fools, so
Yeah,
I know I better not. Because if you do jump, then I'm gonna jump in behind you and kill you. So
yeah.
those were black mama and black daddy comments.
I'm telling you, man. If you had those moms as a disciplinarian in the prison system, man, a lot of those criminals they they would repent. They wouldn't be doing the bad things they're doing in prison, man.
Right, because our mothers had, when you were like a toddler, you got the look,
Yeah,
and if the look didn't work, then the pinch came, and then if
yeah.
the pinch didn't come, then you just slapped you upside your head.
Yeah, yeah. And even when you're grown, when you're in your 20s, even when you're in your 30s, man, that mom give you that look, man, you know what that means.
Yeah, that look meant, but I better back up, and I
Yeah.
didn't just say something really dumb, and it's probably time for me to leave right about now. I saw a meme yesterday on TikTok, and the mother is in the kitchen, and she got her hands folded, and she goes, "Baby, I'm gonna need you to dial down your psycho-ness right now, because mine's is go." He said, "Before I have to take mine to the next level. We both can't be psycho at the same time, so I'm gonna ask you to dial yours down."
Our field correspondent Greg said, Jamaicans, mom, if I lick you, you spit blood. That is so true, man. That is so
Oh,
true. When
yeah,
you when you
mamas.
when you hear about the fact that she's gonna draw blood, man, that makes you think twice. You go,
Right, exactly. Just everything. So again, I'm not quite sure why we not loving on women, because women can be a little off. I know my mom was a little off kilter. She at birth, I think she realized she had to be a little crazy. So
yeah.
it
So,
starts there. I'm gonna be crazy, so you know how crazy you should not get.
so the politicians, they're the ones acting up right now. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. They're trying to put us back into
Yeah,
1864, which I
yeah.
think is a very interesting time frame anyway. But
They know it's not gonna happen. They're gonna see the results in the election in November, and then they'll say, "Man, that was a stupid move." Because
yeah, that's the best thing. Don't
people are,
forget the shoe. Yeah, Greg, don't forget the shoe.
yeah, man. That shoe never misses, man. That shoe, and the mom throw that shoe,
It was
and
like that.
sometimes you think you're fast and you're outrunning the shoe, man, and you take a corner, and before you know it, that shoe come around the corner and hit you in the head.
Or and yeah, it comes around the corner and it seems like it's got radar on it, right?
Like a boomerang.
You think you moving fast and the shoe is right there, right at your head. Yeah, yeah. I told you it was must have been the Black Mama's handbook on raising children.
I think, man, I think if we re-implement some of those things today, a lot of these kids, man, they wouldn't be so wild. They'll be contained because they know that that mom is gonna hit you upside your head or hit you with a shoe or something, man. You would
Yeah.
straighten up. They would
Yeah, you
straighten
you
up.
you straighten up. There was no question about that. They had full on control. I remember my nephews were we were with some camp we were gone camping, and one of the little boys, he just started acting up. And so my nephew, he was 6 at the time, and he and his little friend who had the same kind of discipline at his house, they looked at the child like he was crazy. And then he said, my nephew turned around to his mama. Does his mama not do what you do? Why is he doing? Does he know he can get in some serious trouble?
Oh man, I tell you, man, it is unbelievable. And Greg said, "Thank, thank goodness, mom did not wear platform shoes.
No, they had little slippers.
That would have put us in the hospital, man. We'd be knocked out.
Right, exactly.
We'd be knocked out, man.
We certainly would, boy. So yeah, they did a good job. And look at that, we turned out
We
okay.
turned out okay. We
Corporate
turned out
punishment
okay.
wasn't so bad after
I'm
all.
telling you, man, because it makes us, take a step back and question whatever bad behaviors we're gonna exhibit. Man, as a kid, I've done so many bad things, man. So I'm looking back the other day, I said, man, I was a stupid ass kid. I did some stupid things, and I'm going, man, and I survived.
You survived.
Can you imagine that?
My
Whoa.
mom, yeah, there wasn't too much stupidness happening because I told you, she started it very early. But I think most importantly, we just did not want to, we did not want to disappoint her. And
Yeah.
so consequently, we thought about it. I mean, we could get crazy, but then we thought about the outcome. I guess we had critical thinking
Oh yeah.
skills
Oh
then,
yeah.
and we thought about what is she really going to do? And then of course she'd already done some extreme threats some way back there. So you those are always buried in the back of your mind. I remember my girlfriend said her mother, she was acting up, and her mother told her, if you don't stop, I'm gonna take your lip and pull your bottom lip and pull it over the top of your head.
Oh.
And she said she just stopped in her tracks
Yeah,
and
she
she's like,
started imagining that too, right? She said, "Dang, wonder what it would be like."
she said she just stopped in her tracks. She just shut up. The tears dried up. Everything. She just stood there like, "Whoa, okay, I better behave."
That is crazy, man. That is crazy.
Ooh, so
Folks, I'm sure we're taking you back down memory lane today. I know many of you are going back and thinking, say, "Oh, wow, yeah, my mom used to do that too," and look how I turned out. you know.
yeah. And you
Oh
think
man.
back, and today, many of us know, our parents, our moms are, um, gone on to glory and they're in the heavens. And so,
Yeah.
when you think back, you're just very blessed that you had that person that's helped shape who you are.
Oh, for sure.
And we all know today we are the people that we are because of our parents, the people that
Hmm.
raised us. And so, we have to give honor to them. All right,
Yeah.
Greg, we'll see you shortly. We have to give honor to them because they did, even with the corporal punishment, it
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it worked, man. I've seen kids turn out to be good kids who, if left alone, they would have gone down the wrong path, man. They would have gone down the wrong path. So I'm one of those kids. So I have to say thanks to my mom. She did a good job. She did a good
Yeah.
job. You
My
know.
mom too. My mom was an amazing lady, and
Yeah.
so
I wish I had met your mom, Crystal.
you would have liked her.
Yeah, I wish I had met her.
I have many ex boyfriends that don't talk to me, but they talk to her all the time. She's a good person.
I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to your
To your
mom.
mother. That says a lot when your ex boyfriends don't want to talk to you, but they want to talk to your mom. So yeah, my mom was an amazing lady. Um,
Oh man.
Very creative, had a fun personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just an awesome woman. In
Yeah.
fact, today, in June 2nd, she will be 94 years old. She would have
Oh,
been 94 years
really?
old.
June 2nd, huh?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
she
have
would
to
have been.
mark that on my calendar, man.
Yeah, so yeah, but I'm sure just from knowing you and how I connect with you, your
Yeah.
mom, she did a good job with you as
Thank
well, and
you,
I'm sure
man.
she was
Thank you.
incredible. And when we bring Amber on, our guest, I'm sure she's going to have some great stories about her mom. But she's doing this pop up program event to honor moms. So next month, I think it's probably the 14th of May. And so this
Mhm.
is the time where we can uplift our mothers, the people who really shaped us.
Oh.
Uh, Yesterday I was talking about, I do grandparenting 10,000 miles away.
Hmm.
So my
Your
my
niece.
yeah, my niece called yesterday and she's like, the baby doesn't want me. I was like, what the heck are you talking about? So the baby is like just turning 18 months old, right? And so
Yeah.
you know how they get finicky, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
she said she was going downstairs to her grandmother's and she didn't even cry. She has never done that before. Does she not want me anymore? And I was like, nah, they just get like that.
It's amazing how the young mothers, they really fall into those situations where they go, "Oh my God, is my baby rejecting me?
Right,
Am
exactly.
I not good enough for mom?"
All right. Do I need to pack up and go away?
Wait until she has a second one, man. She's gonna go, "Oh, that's just usual. Give
Yeah.
her a few hours. She'll be back."
Yeah, she'll be back. And then she says, but then later on when she was sleeping, she was all up underneath me. So I guess she felt bad
Yeah,
for making me feel bad. That, oh, Lordy have mercy. So
that's amazing, man.
I said, so she's got her own personality now, which means with her own personality is going to, you're going to see all kinds of new things happening with her. So
Yeah.
just be prepared. Just be prepared. That's all I can say.
So my co-host is gonna tell you guys how you can subscribe to this program and this channel. Again, like I say, this is the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We're on every Friday from 3 to 4:30, and if the show is exciting, sometimes we'll take it up to 5 o'clock. Just to let our guests do their thing and share their ideas, their products, their services, and information to the world. So
Hmm.
that's what we do. And if you don't know how to find us or how to subscribe, my co-host is going to tell you guys how to subscribe, so you can access our over 700 videos that we have. So, co-host, do you want to tell them how to
Okay,
subscribe?
so it's doing something new and different. So, guys, we're learning some new things right up in here because usually this is on the left hand side of us. So, for whatever reasons, on the bottom. So, you can go over to our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button and hit the subscribe button and the like button. We have over 700 videos. 700 plus videos archived over on our YouTube channel. We have been on the air since 2016. So we will be celebrating our 8th year, the Business
This
Zone
year.
with Krista this year. And
Nice.
so we're excited. We're not quite sure how we're going to do that, but we're going to come up with something. But nevertheless, Gilbert and I are both business coaches, and we have a collective knowledge and coaching tips and mentorship that expands over our both of our vast careers. So you really want to go over there. It's free and it's
Mhm.
free to subscribe. You can also take a picture of that QR code and it will take you to our YouTube channel, and then you can subscribe. And if you enjoy the videos, please hit the like. It helps us in our with our SEO, search engine
An
optimization. So
algorithm.
the algorithms, and it's free, as Gilbert says.
Free 99, guys. Free 99.
Free 99. So before we bring on our guests, and I know tonight you're doing the gala thing. I'm not gala.
Yes.
I'm not
Yes.
gala ready
You're
today.
not Gail already.
I've had a rough week.
I think I'm semi Gail already. So
Okay, well,
I'm going to
you
go.
represent for us.
I'll represent for you, my co-host.
Please
So
do.
tonight there will be the gala for the Greater Los Angeles African American Chamber of Commerce, and it's going to be held at the JW Marriott Hotel downtown LA. And it's going to be a great event. All types of sponsors, all type of awardees and recipients will be there. You got Edison, the gas company. You got some of the major contractors, primes. Different agencies will be there. It's just going to be a great event. I don't even know what table I'm going to be at, co-host. So
Oh,
I
should put
guess
you
I'll
at a
just
good
show
table.
up. I'll just show up and show them my credential, and they'll say, "Okay, you're in the back. Go sit in the back over there." I don't
Yeah, they'll put you in the right place because you're one of their elite consultants for their compute
the
for their
BEP program.
the BEP program. So yeah, they'll take care of you. Yeah, I'm just not gala ready. And my kids tomorrow, the business I do the Biz Institute.
Yeah.
Our kids are doing their first competition tomorrow.
Very good.
Yeah, we've been trying to round up guest judges all week long. Kids financials are all over the crazy place, so I already see that there's emails that now they're panicking. I told them 2 weeks ago to call me and schedule
And
office hours so I
now
can
they're
help them
calling
with
you the day before.
the day two, yeah, like 6 hours before they about to compete. So I couldn't be gala ready if I wanted to be.
Well, the thing is, we know you're Gail already all the time, co-host. It's just that you have this other event with the kids, and you're 150% dedicated to those kids. So we understand why you're not able to make it, but we're gonna miss you tonight.
Yes.
We're sure all the participants in our program that you coach and I coach, they'll be looking to see you tonight. So I'll just let them know that my co-host had a different engagement that she had to take care of. So
Yeah, I text Angela and told her what had to happen, and I said, you know, Angela, I can't have kids embarrassing me. My area of expertise is financials, and they're gonna come there with none. Oh no, we cannot have embarrassment in front of the company. The company.
exactly. Who is the coach of these kids? You don't
I'm
want that.
sorry.
You don't want that at all, co-host. So
No.
so yeah, so my co-host, she'll be missing the gala tonight, but she will definitely make the graduation that we're gonna have, the business evolution graduation in May. I think it's May 15th.
Yes.
So my co-host, and just so you know, guys, if you don't know, now you'll know that my co-host's birthday is May 1st.
Ah.
So put it on your calendar. Send her some flowers or something to that effect. She's been working hard for all of you guys, so don't forget her
Ah.
birthday.
Thank you. Before we bring Amber on, I just want to share. You never know, and this is why I guess it's so important when you run a business just to always offer that stellar service. And when you and I both, but that's one of our philosophies, right? And so
Hmm.
yesterday I had someone that scheduled, and I use a calendar link, and so someone scheduled for me on for a meeting, and then I'm looking at it, I'm going, okay, what organization did she come from, right?
Yeah.
And so I asked, and I said, so I didn't see who referred you to me?" And she goes, "Oh no, no one referred you to me. I have been following you for the last 10 years."
Oh my lord.
I went, What?" And she says, "And but I connected with you on Alignable. You know, that is a networking.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
right. We all probably have we're all networking over there without knowing we're
I
networking.
didn't even know it still existed.
And there's some very active people on
Yeah,
Alignable.
that's true. That is true.
And
Can we stream the show from Alignable as well? Can we add
I
them to
know
the
I've
stream?
advertised on Alignable. I will check on see if we
Yeah,
can.
if we can stream, that would be great to add them to our list of streaming platforms.
And they're much more engaging than LinkedIn. On
Yes,
LinkedIn, they
yes,
have
that's
all kinds
true.
of workshops
Yeah,
and
that
all
is
kinds of
true.
stuff going on over there.
I think we should try to find out what's going on over there and connect them, man. Because you're right. People have reached out to me too from Alignable, and I'm going, huh? They're going, yeah. I've met you in one of your workshops like 5, 10 years ago. I was like, oh my god, and you still remember me? Oh yeah. So I didn't do such a bad job then, huh?
That's
No,
what
you're okay.
when she said that, she goes, "Oh yeah, I've been following," and she literally ticked off every organization that I
Everything.
work for and that I
Amazing.
do business with. And then she also said, since I moved here 10 years ago from wherever she came from to Los Angeles, she goes, "Every room I go into, your name is mentioned."
Wow.
I
That's
went,
that's that's big, co-host. That's
"That's
big, man.
big, right?"
That is big, man.
So
That
she
is
said,
big.
yeah. So she said, "So it's just an honor." And I finally decided to reach out to you. And so she has a really great business that she's working with. The population are the single seniors. And
Yeah.
so she just felt she didn't even want she didn't want anything. She wanted to know how she could help me.
Oh wow, that means you got some clout there, co-host. You got clout.
Yeah. So that was on. So if you guys don't have something or set up your profile on Alignable, you need to do that,
Yeah.
and then you need to go over there. And it's not that easy to get. It's not like LinkedIn that you click it. You actually have to get an invite every time you go into your own. And but you can advertise over there, and they have a very. I've taken some class. I've done some a group networking group. In fact, I'm scheduled for a QuickBooks one in a couple weeks. So
I
there you go.
I think we should think we should go over there and do what we do because we provide a lot of services to entrepreneurs, and there's a whole lot of entrepreneurs over there can definitely benefit from our services.
I
So,
think so. So I'm gonna look more into it and see what we can make happen. But
all
now
right.
we're gonna
So
bring on our guest,
the
and
moment
Greg
we've
is
all
back.
been waiting for.
Yes. So this young lady, she is actually a stylist, a wardrobe stylist, and I've pulled up your bio from your website, I think, and it says she is a wardrobe stylist. She's very meticulous about her journey of creativity and precision
Mhm.
and a personalized flair. She invests time in understanding the project's essence, the characters, and the narrative. So that's my kind of person,
You
ensuring
know, it
that
was
each
this morning that I woke up and I was thinking, you know what? I need a stylist.
But there you
Here,
go.
here I am.
So we're gonna find out. So she's a stylist, and we're gonna find out what that looks like, and who actually uses a stylist beyond the celebrity. Do we regular people need one?
So, Amber Bond, welcome to the business zone.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me.
How are
Hi,
We
you?
are so
hi,
happy
Crystal.
to have you.
Yes. So, a stylist, do regular people need stylists? I think that depends on your day to day, what you have planned, if you hate shopping versus people who love shopping like myself. So,
Okay.
I
Mm.
think that's where stylists come in handy for the everyday person. For me, typically, I work in productions on like commercials, like short format, music videos, things of that nature. But then I also do have other like clients who are everyday people who hate shopping. Like they have a ton of events to go to, ton of things they want to look really good for, but they hate the process of shopping. They don't want to scroll through the internet. They don't want to go to stores. They don't want to pick out things. They just want to show up and look good because,
Hmm.
that has a major effect on how you show up in the world. So that is my job, to make sure that everyone like looks good, they feel good, they show up in their best self
Hmm.
wherever they go.
So tell us,
Awesome.
Amber, how did you get into the styling arena? What made you decide to want to do that?
So I've always had an interest in fashion and things like that. My mother actually sewed a lot and still does to this day. So I spent a lot of times in fabric stores as a kid, just kind of like sifting through patterns or, picking out fabrics and buttons and zippers and notions and things like that. But I knew that I did not want to sew. Like, I could do a little bit of that, but that's not necessarily like, that's not my ministry.
She said, "That's not my ministry."
It's not my ministry. It's not fun for me. I can sketch, I could do things like that. Like I'm a very creative person, but do I want to sit behind a sewing machine? Absolutely not. I would rather hand off a drawing to someone and say, "Hey, can you make this? Here are the measurements. Here's what this person needs," and that is created, and I just bring it back and fit it perfectly. Like that's my wheelhouse.
Oh,
Mm.
okay. Yeah, my
Yes.
mom was a seamstress. We didn't have a choice. I learned how to sew at 7. We couldn't go outside. My mom she was something else. Summertime, these are the crafts we're going to do this summer, and you can't go outside. So my very first project was a roller bag and a pajama bag.
And here is what your schedule will look like.
Yes. Now here
Yeah.
is your assignment for the day. You cannot play until this
My
is done.
until this is done. So I learned to sew very early on. Actually, it was a passion of mine, and until I got
Yes.
too busy to want to sit that long. But it was a thing that we did together. So I
Oh, I love
understand your
that.
mom.
Yes. Yes,
Is
I think
your
it's
is your mom about 62? Is that it?
now, yes, she's in her 60s. We won't age her, but
Okay.
Oh,
she is in her 60s.
I'm just taking a wild guess. But I can figure out her age, though, right? You know that?
Oh,
Did you know that?
I'm sure that you can. I'm sure you have enough
Okay.
information.
Before the show is over, I'll tell you exactly her age. How about that?
Okay, okay. I'll let you make some guesses, some educated
I'm not gonna
guesses.
guess. I'm gonna tell you with certainty.
With
Uh-oh.
certainty.
That means that's interesting. So tell me some of the projects that you've worked on. Is it anyone that we know? Any famous people or
So I have done some projects with some celebrities here and there, some commercial work. If you'd like to see more of those projects, you can go to www.loveisbond.com.
I
okay.
like
Well,
that.
I actually have it up.
Oh, you have it?
Yes.
I
Well,
like that.
Yeah, I have it up and I'm looking at some of her
www.loveisbond.
beautiful in the gallery here.
thank
So
you.
did you and generally that would be if you were going to be a seamstress, if you enjoyed that part of it, then generally you would go and you would want to be a fashion designer, but you chose the other avenue into this space.
Yes, yes. I definitely did not want to be a seamstress. I think that that is a craft that is amazing, that is a gift, and that you have to be a very special type of person to work in that lane. For me, I am kind of like again, I like to create things, pass
Okay.
that task off, but I like to source. Like the
Okay.
fabric store was fun for me because I'm like, oh, I could pick this pattern. We can make this thing. So let me go and get like the fabrics for this and let me customize it this way.
Hmm.
But for me, that's still kind of in the wheelhouse of just like sourcing. I'm great at that part.
Okay.
Um, if I sew something, the seams might be a little crooked. It's gonna take me. It'll take me a little bit too long. I could do simple projects, but
That's
think of
Okay.
it
just
as a
not your
gift.
ministry, right?
Well, that's
It's not my
cool.
ministry. It is not my ministry. I like to pull things. I like to go see finished products, ideally, and say, oh, this would look really good on this person. This would fit, like this fabric would be great on this person.
Hmm.
This will fit their shape. Those things. Putting
Yeah,
together all of the elements, like accessorizing
those are
it.
the traits of a stylist, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the show The Devil Loves Prada? Did
Oh,
you
The
ever
Devil
see
Wears
that?
Prada, the
I
movie. Yes.
I can imagine you watched that like four, five, six times, right?
I've definitely seen it a lot. I've seen it a lot. And like I think that those characters from like films like that, there are a lot of people who do operate like that and who
Hmm.
aspire to be those type of
Yeah,
people in like entertainment and and fashion worlds. But then there's a lot of other people who are like sweet,
yeah.
kind, but they get their stuff done. They're about their
I
business.
think
They're
you would
about
have
to.
fun dressing my co-host, though, Crystal. I think you would have
Yes.
fun dressing her.
Yeah, I actually love
Yes.
clothes. And it's so funny. Because I quite social and I network a lot, so I do kind of know what my body looks good.
Which
Sometimes you you go out and you're going, did they not pass by a mirror? Do they know that this is not the look?
I know.
That blue you're wearing, co-host, that looks good on
It's
you.
good.
What
Thank
It's
do you
you.
call
definitely
that? A
good.
royal blue? What
It's
is it?
kind of a cobalt. I think it's called a cobalt
Yeah,
blue.
Yes.
that blue
Yes.
looks good on you.
Yeah, so I can see that. So you can actually see it. And so when you're doing, especially for projects, they tell you what the commercial is or what the
Yes.
music video, and then you're the ones that go put the ideas and things together for that particular actor.
Yes. Yes. So
Okay.
typically they give you a document of like, hey, this is a treatment of this is what we're looking for. This is how it's going to be like. Here's the room we might be filming this in. Here's the theme. Here are all of these different elements. And from there, I can kind of like, again, within like certain restrictions and guidelines, because
Hmm.
at the end of the day, as creative as I want to get, my job is to like work with my client to make my client happy. So I can like
Okay.
certain things, I can love certain things, but if my client hates it, I have to deliver them what they want, you know?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Our
So,
field correspondent said, "Is she going to do some styling for Gilbert?"
oh, Gilbert, you
Yeah,
look
I
great.
probably need some of those. Probably need some styling.
I'm like, I noticed your jersey. It's nice. It's
Thank
nice.
you, thank you. It's my Dodger jersey. I got this from I don't know if you know Manny Mota, who used to play for the Dodgers. He's a
Okay.
legend. So his daughter gave it to me as a gift. So I'm
Oh, that's
cherishing it.
sweet.
Ah, nice, 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 nice.
Yes, yes. That is a very
So,
sacred item.
Yeah.
so do you do? So obviously you do for men and women
Yes, men, women, and children.
and
A lot
Hmm.
of
children.
yes, and children and babies even. So
Oh, that's
there have
fun.
been lots of commercial jobs where they'll have families or they'll cast families. So with that it's like, and I don't have children, so I'm like, okay, I get to shop for these kids, for these babies, and make sure they look like cute or cool for this particular so they can play,
Okay,
so they
okay.
can play on
Now, were you a
camera.
fashionista when you were in high school? Is that where this started?
Yes. Well, I feel like when you have a parent that sews or that
Mhm.
creates things, you kind of like that becomes sometimes part of your world,
Yeah. So you're
you
the
know.
model. You got to model your parents' clothes, and they make them, right?
Literally, they'll make little outfits for you.
Hmm.
There's certain just interests that you kind of like take up. And
Mhm.
for me, it definitely did become something that I was interested in. Again, like just certain things, I feel like they almost become, or they feel like they're ingrained in who you
Yeah.
are because of your parents, because of your upbringing. So Definitely did find, a little bit of fashion sense in high school for sure. I think before that might have been a little rocky.
Yeah, my mom made all our clothes. I mean, I can recall many Easters where we were getting the hemmed as we were walking into church, but we always had matching outfits, my sister and I,
Yes.
and clothes appropriate for our age, and that went all the way up. And then since I learned how to sew in when I was really young, all throughout high school, I made my own clothes, and probably for a while when I became an adult, I made all my formal clothes because you just can't find sometimes those formal outfits that fit
Yes.
just you.
Exactly. My mother actually, she made my prom dress, and I helped her, or I designed it because we tried to go through stores to find things, and I was a really petite, or like I've always been really like on the slim side.
Hmm.
So it was really hard to find things that actually fit my body without there being some kind of gapping or other different like issues and problems. So when it came down to it, I'm like, okay, I think I saw like a magazine in like the grocery store. And I'm like, what about this dress? I'm
Mm.
like, can we do this? So we went and I found a pattern for a dress that was similar to the one on the magazine. And then we went shopping for like embellishments for, there was like a embroidered back. Like the back was kind of like open but completely embroidered.
Hmm.
So we went and we found like some pieces that could work. And I remember telling all my friends, I'm like, yeah, my mom is making my prom dress, and they kept looking at me like I was crazy, because I don't think they would never know if she had made anything and I wore it. Like they just it wouldn't process, or if I had made
Okay.
something and I wore
Hmm.
it, they would just assume that I like found it somewhere.
Mhm.
But I was like, no, my mom made my prom dress, and they're like, Miss April made your prom dress. I'm like,
It's like a little
yes.
homemade, huh?
Yes. they they thought it was gonna be homemade, and when I showed up, I'm like, it was a beautiful dress, a gown. Even I picked out
Hmm.
like the perfect fabric, the
Hmm.
perfect embroidery in the back, and look, got so many compliments. This dress got passed down to so many cousins.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right.
After that, like it was great piece.
Yeah, my
Perfect.
mom made my prom dress as well. Had a little at
Yes.
that time, much younger, much older than you are. So it was a halter, and it had a little bolero jacket with a little
Oh,
boa fur
Blair.
on it, and it was pink. It was blue,
Yes.
powder blue, and my
Okay.
date had on some blue stuff, and but yeah, yeah. When you have a mom that can sew, all you have to do is just, especially if they're really good at it and it's their talent. Oh man,
Hmm.
they can make any wedding dress, anything of that
Anything.
nature. Hmm.
Seriously, you're just like, oh hey, I need this thing. Can you make this thing? Like, if they can make patterns too, like that is amazing. If
Yeah.
they could do it from nothing.
From nothing. That's how my mom was. So she made both men and women's clothes. She did.
Yeah.
She started with clothing for herself, of course, and then she
Mhm.
expanded into tailoring. My brother was kind of slender, and so she had to make all of his clothes,
I
and
love
then
that.
yeah, so she had to, because of the same reasons, gaps and
Yes.
things just didn't fit,
They're
and then
not cut.
she yeah, they're not cut right. And then she from there she went to making wedding party dresses. Yeah, she never she made money at it, but it was never she should have been in business for it cuz that she was
Fair.
good at it. Hmm.
Fair. It's a labor of love. It's a labor of love.
Right, exactly.
So,
So
yeah.
how
So,
did you get into the entertainment part, the celebrity part, the commercial part, cuz that's not that easy to do.
No. So I'm originally from Maryland. I moved to Los Angeles like 10 years ago, and I actually studied at the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising in downtown.
Okay. Okay.
So I had the opportunity to have tons of internships through them, or I would just get kind of like connected through like someone who knows someone from home whose friend is looking for someone to like help out on a project, and I would kind of get brought on that way. And from there, you just kind of like nurture your own relationships and you end up like you get referred for a lot of projects. You would be actually shocked how many things you just kind of like get like a text or like a call for, and it's like,
Mm,
oh, are you available? And I'm like, oh, yes. And
okay.
it's
Nice.
just like
What a
challenging the
fun
person.
career.
It can be fun. It can be fun. It is very labor intense, you know, like labor intensive. And I don't think a lot of people realize like how much labor it is. It's glamorous for the person in front of the camera. For
Hmm.
everyone behind the scenes, it is work. It is
Okay.
work. So,
Okay.
yes. But again, your job is to make sure that they look good in front of the camera. So,
Mm-hmm.
you do it because you love it. I love making sure that people feel good and they look good. So, and again, the shopping part, so fun.
So
But
you get to go out and buy the outfits. Oh, that's fun.
it is. Saying all the pretty things.
That's pretty cool. Then when you were going to ask her a question?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how long ago have you started as an entrepreneur? And
Okay.
has it been growing for you? Has it been improving as you go along?
Yes. So I actually decided in 2019 that I was going to become an entrepreneur, and I don't even think I like fully registered for me that that was what I was doing at the time.
Hmm.
I wanted to start an online store, and I was very familiar again through school of like that there was a huge wholesale market in Los Angeles. Like actually, I think it's probably like one of the largest in the country.
Hmm.
And um, so I decided to kind of go explore like how to tap into that market and how to like source items and provide them to my customers or my
Hmm.
potential clients. And it has grown. I think when I first started, you sometimes you have these like very naive expectations
Yeah.
for business, and you're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
in this first year, this is gonna happen this way, and it's gonna pop, and ah.
All these customers are just gonna be running and chasing me down the street.
Yes, yes, and
The money gonna roll in.
seriously, you're like, oh yes, all I have to do is get these things, and you promote it, and then it's like that's it. But no, that is not how it works. That is not how it works. I started right before the pandemic. Like I had kind of like slowly built my business
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
throughout 2019, like starting in February. Like I slowly did a lot of like different things. Like I slowly bought like, you know, some items, this month, some items that next month, and like would photograph them and do all these different things like in my studio apartment with like my best friend doing my makeup. Like very bare bones, and launched kind of in that fall, actually around Black Friday that year. And then literally a couple months later, pandemic.
Mm,
So, which allowed me to kind of figure out how to pivot a little bit and maybe
mm,
try to like offer things that my customers might have wanted, being stuck inside or like just, I don't know. It allowed for me to kind of grow a little bit more and think of like, okay, these might be the things that I find interesting and like would be great pieces, but
uh-huh.
this is what my customer needs right now. So, like, let me focus on the customer need.
Mm,
And even then, it was still like a slow climb. I mean, then everyone was online because that's all we had to really do.
right,
but
exactly.
I think it's grown significantly thanks to the Los Angeles Urban League, like the two of you kind of mentoring and offering programming at the time. I think that was something that like I didn't really know how much I needed it because I was like, oh,
Mm,
I'm figuring out all these things and navigating. But my line sister sent me a link for the Entrepreneur Center,
mm,
and I signed up, sat through, the webinars, and I'm like, okay, like some things I have figured out. And then there was
mm-hmm,
a lot of things that like I think really helped me to organize my business, like my back of house significantly to kind of like get my books in order, understand like what I was looking at, like my data, my numbers, just trying
mm-hmm,
to like I think those are the things that will really, really help you scale is like knowing what you're looking at, knowing what to focus on. And then this year, or yeah, within the last year, I've been in a grant cohort through Intuit Ideas, partnering with the Los Angeles Urban League, and that's tremendously made an impact on me as an entrepreneur and a businesswoman, and even in the world of like styling, also.
Mm. Hmm.
Like,
Probably set you a little bit above everyone else, right? Because most people don't pay attention, as Gilbert says, the back office. Just you're just running businesses, right? But the most important part of your business is to make sure that the processes are working.
Mm-hmm.
yes, seriously. I don't think a lot of people, actually, I've talked to a lot of different entrepreneurs especially over the last year. And a lot of times that's like the last thing that they focus on. Like, the last thing they're thinking about is their numbers, and like like they're kind of like, okay, well, I can go and I can get this thing, or I can offer this service, but they're not tracking anything. they're
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
not they're not they're definitely not looking at their analytics, looking at their numbers. They
Mm-hmm.
don't have a lot of, oftentimes, a lot of their paperwork in order, a lot of their things are not together. They're just
Mm-hmm.
kind of like thinking of it in the sense of like a hustle culture versus like operating and running a business. And there's a drastic difference. Like, you can work, smarter and not harder in a
Right.
lot of ways. And from my perspective, like, even have, having conversations, because it's, tax season.
No biggie.
Right. No, Biggie, just casual. But I've had a lot of conversations with like a TurboTax expert, and
Uh-huh.
like there's certain things that, like, she had to call me out, and I'm like making notes, and I'm like, no, this is so helpful. Like, I was stressed, but I'm like, okay, yes. I'm like, okay, I understand. Like, this is how I need to do this. I need to have like. She's like, yeah, you could just Google how to put together like this agreement, and I'm like, okay, all right. I'm like, it's a lot, but knowing this is better than not knowing it. And, like, having the aftermath of not knowing something, and, you're getting a call, or not a call, but you're getting, notices or different things
Yeah.
because you're making mistakes that don't have to be made.
Yeah. And those mistakes can
Costly.
be costly, as Gilbert
Yes.
says. Then you pay what he calls it, the stupid tax.
That's right.
But it,
Yes.
right, because certain things. But I mean, some stuff kind of slide. I'm in the accounting piece, so I understand that. But there are certain things that people just don't realize. I was doing a class yesterday on QuickBooks, and this lady said, "This whole season, and I've been in business for over 10 years. I'm always stressed, and and I said, but it doesn't have to be
No.
if you're managing all throughout the year. So now that you
True.
guys now set up with QuickBooks, it's not as intimidating as most people think it is,
No, it's kind of fun. I'm not like, it's
because
kind
it's
of
about the money.
fun. Yeah, well, looking to me now, like having data to look at is fun. Like,
Yeah.
that is something to be proud of. So actually looking at my numbers, I'm like, okay, like I can see so much growth. Like, okay, like I could have worked really hard the previous year, but now seeing like numbers for a month, and I'm like, oh, like I could.
No, I feel you. Gilbert
I'm
and
like,
I, we feel you.
yeah, I'm like, oh, I have this data to look at. Like, oh, I've been doing something. Like, so I kind of look forward to like having like money dates, and like sitting and just doing my bookkeeping, like getting, not to say getting ahead of it, but like actually just tracking it feels a little bit better. And then it
Hmm.
also gives me like a good guideline for like how I want to move forward. If I'm like, okay, this is where I'm seeing growth in my business, like in this area. This is what, customers like, or this is what clients like. Here's what I need to provide more of. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
again, that working smarter and not harder, instead of
Hmm.
just, you know,
Operating on the whim, and that's unfortunately, if you're not aware of what those numbers are, that's what you do, and you don't know what is the product or the service that you're offering that's the most profitable.
right.
And right, and so if you're not managing over your overall financial, day, monthly, daily, it makes it so much easier. But it's all about the money for me. So I've
Right.
always found that more exciting.
I mean, as a creative, of course, I like the other stuff, but again, like knowing where to reinvest the funds.
Hmm.
Like that's important because the testing, yes, that's cool and that's fun, but that gets very costly and expensive very fast. And again, like I might have a different taste from a lot of different people, and I might think, my product is excellent, it's great, you know what I mean? And other people will think the same, like when they see it in person, but trying to sell online, especially, or like then navigating pop-ups and doing all these things, like the tests don't always register, or like I don't think a lot of times people realize how much time you have to invest in promoting one item to get people into your marketing funnel or get them like aware of your products or your service or even excited about it. Like people's attention spans are so short now that like they see something one time and then they go see something else 5 minutes later. So they're
Yeah.
not, it's not like, you know, on the back of their, I don't know, it's not on their radar anymore. Like once they've swiped through or spent enough time on the internet or done anything else. So you have to constantly like be marketing or constantly be showing things. And like I'm the kind of person that's like, oh, I've done that so many times. It's so stale. People are tired of looking at it. And reality is they've not even seen it but the first time. So
Hmm.
you really have to like learn to let go of it and kind of get out of your own way a lot.
He's like a poster child for the best kind of client, Huh, Gilbert?
Oh yeah,
I'm
definitely.
I'm
Gonna,
learning.
we're gonna have to clip this video and show it over and over.
Because this is what is supposed to happen when people are
Yes,
managing their businesses. So, what's your overall goal for your business? What do you? So you started just before the pandemic. So you've been in business for
Yes.
about 4 years, maybe.
5. It's going
Okay.
on 5 years now ish. Yeah.
Okay. So
Um,
what do you see in the horizon?
For me, okay, I definitely want to scale. I want to get to the point where I can hire people. My goal was, not to necessarily like manage everything by myself, especially having multiple businesses and doing multiple things. Like I do want to be able to continue doing that to, some extent. So I want to be able to hire people, whether it's a third party logistics team or an in house logistics team,
Mm-hmm.
that would be awesome. A warehouse would be fantastic.
Oh,
Listen, a warehouse, a showroom, and then also like a maybe like in-house photo studio would actually be
oh.
like excellent.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I
so
do want
then
to
you'd get to
expand.
put on shows.
Hmm?
You would use those warehouses to put on your shows and invite
I could.
sponsors and the public to
I,
come see it.
yes, because I don't necessarily want to. I don't think I want to have like a storefront, but I do want it to be like a space, like maybe some type of like community space where people can come in,
Yeah.
pick up, or host clients, different things like that, but not necessarily
Mhm.
like a
Yeah.
retail space. But
Okay.
Sounds
I'm
good. Sounds good.
debating. I'm working
And
through.
you working through and most people don't know how. My sister was not much of a shopper. Now she's very good at this stuff, but in the beginning, she would come, she'd have an event and she didn't go out and do a lot of stuff, and so she come to me, go, okay, so what should I wear, what kind of jewelry, what do the shoes, what is it supposed to look like? Now she's got a
Yes.
whole look that she has going on, and she
See?
does very well at it. But about 4 or 5 years ago, it was like she wasn't confident. She always has dressed nice, but she wasn't
Fair.
confident in what looked
Look
well on her
best.
body because she's more slenderer than I am. And
Ah,
so, but now she got a thing now going on. She
yes.
got a shoe thing going on,
See?
and the whole look, and that's what it is, right? Your
Yes.
clothes don't have to be super expensive, but if
No.
you can put it together.
Exactly. I feel like if you could put it together and you can even sometimes like you can find something cheap or something secondhand and you can get things tailored. Like to me, I think that is a secret that a lot of people just don't take advantage of. You can take a thrifted jacket to the dry cleaner and probably spend $15 and get it like fit to you, and it'll look
Mm-hmm.
so much better like than as opposed to it looking like it belongs to someone else, your cousin, your uncle, your auntie's jacket. So you could get it fit and tailored to you, and like it drastic change. Like it's minor details, even like things like denim, jeans.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I know that I have like my body is not like a proportion of most of the items in the stores. But if I and I'm not super tall. I'm not super tall, but I'm not super short. So
Right.
if I get a pair of jeans and it's too long, I could take it to the dry cleaner. They can hem the pants, they can take in the waist, and it'll look like the best pair of jeans ever. And it'll be
Good.
like my favorite pair of pants. But all you have to do is a minor change that doesn't even cost you that much more, and it's like
Right.
like a subtle investment, if you will, in that item,
Hmm.
and
Very
game
good. Well
changer.
thought out, and seems as if your plan is structured properly.
I'm trying my best. I'm trying my
I
best.
know.
It's a work in progress.
I love it because fashion is the thing, and I know so many people. Couple issues most of us had after the pandemic. One, we were only wearing leisure clothes or
Yes,
workout clothes. So when it came
yes,
to going back to getting dressed up, it's like, what does? And of course, the body wasn't the same as it
they've
was
changed.
pre-pandemic. But I think for
Yes.
most of us women today, it's the shoes. I could wear a heel before the pandemic. I don't know what the
Mhm.
heck has happened, but sometimes when someone is like, "Oh, come to a gala," I'm thinking, "Oh, what does that mean? Heels? Oh, I got to think about this."
I can give you a wardrobe secret right now. So,
Okay,
okay, when you have a shoe for like a gala or something like that, one maybe try like a open toe shoe. Open
okay,
toe shoe will give you a little bit of space, and then get a gel insole.
okay.
Dr. Scholl's has wonderful gel insoles, and they have the ones that are just for like the ball of the foot.
Mm.
Oh,
Put
okay.
that into your shoe. Put that in.
Mm-hmm.
Put that into the shoe. You might be able to wear those shoes for hours.
Really?
Hours. Yes.
Okay.
That that is the secret. I actually probably put them into most of my heels. Otherwise, I can't.
I will tell you. So a couple weeks ago, I went to an event. The BBA had their salute to women, and I wasn't even. It was like a little 2 inch, maybe. I used to weigh 4 inches. Now I'm down here 2.5, and maybe a half an inch. But the toe was so. I don't know. The shoe was comfortable at one point when I bought it. It was comfortable,
Mhm.
and I had to walk from the back parking lot into the by the time I got home, my feet were hurting so bad. I had blisters,
Mm.
and I couldn't even sleep that night. I had to take aspirin to go to sleep. My legs, everything
Wow.
was hurt. I was like, okay.
No.
2 weeks later, somebody said, "You want to come to?" No. Can I wear tennis shoes?
Open toe shoe. That's
Open toe shoe.
open toe
Okay.
shoe. Open. Or if you could get away with it, or even maybe sometimes, like if it's a closed toe something, put on a sock while you're in the house, a thick sock. Put your foot in it and just walk around. Do some
On
cleaning. Do
with it so
something.
it'll open. It'll
Yeah, so it'll
look.
stretch. Take a blow dryer, and depending on the material, just heat it up a little bit. Stretch that
Okay.
shoe.
See, Gilbert, you guys don't have problem with that. You put your
No,
shoes on and put your
Just
suit
put
on,
it
I
and
know.
on, clean it up, put it on,
Right.
match
Take
it
a
with my
shoe blast.
socks and my pants.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
They just show up.
yeah,
We're simple, man. Guys are simple. Of
But I
course
don't think
there's
they
some
give as many
guys who go
options.
overboard, and they got to dress a certain way, but most
Fair.
guys we're simple. We're easy to satisfy.
well,
I
you
don't think.
guys, but do you get your suits tailored, or can you buy them right off the rack?
I don't like buying it off a rack because it never fit me right. I like,
And
Okay,
I when I first came here, I had my tailor. Well, my tailor was back in Jamaica, but I wish I had a tailor that I could take because I'd buy the material and just give it to him and say, build me a pair of pants. Because I like my pants, I like it to have room and space and not those little tight things that you see some of these guys wear.
fair.
I don't like those tight pants. I like roomy, nice with my seam, creased all the
Okay.
way down. And
Specifics.
yeah, So, yeah, and then the suit to match. I like when I wear a suit. I like to wear a vest underneath it. That
Okay.
three-piece suit thing, so it gives you that look like I'm gonna be wearing this evening. That
Oh,
crystal is gonna be missing.
oh, you gotta send photos.
She's gonna miss out on this event, so I'm gonna be all dolled up tonight.
Oh, and make sure you take plenty of pictures. Do the step and repeat so I can see
That's
your
right.
dialed upness.
That's
Yeah, no,
Oh,
right.
I gotta. But I had a kid a couple years ago. I do an entrepreneur program, and I would love to have you come out and talk to the kids about styling, because one of the things is
yes.
part of they have to do a presentation, so it's all your delivery, how you look, and young people today
Yeah.
really don't understand there's a time and a place for
For
every
things.
outfit,
Yeah.
right? And so
Yes.
and how to put together their business outfits so that they look presentable when they're pitching. So we'd love to have you come and talk to the kids.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would love that. I think that's something that's super, super important for me. Prior to moving to Los Angeles, I was a federal government worker. So I definitely had I think at one point a course where they kind of taught the dress for success, and like I still hold on to certain rules like my third pieces and different things. So I think I did notice that was something in Los Angeles that wasn't. It's different culture, different
Hmm.
culture,
Yeah.
very laid back.
Yeah,
you know
definitely.
it's that season right now for proms, right? And
Oh
so
yes.
last year the girls, they look beautiful. It was a nice sampling of well-dressed young men and women for
Mm-hmm.
prom. I've already seen some samplings for this year, and somehow or another, folks then forgot that clothes, you need to have more
Oh,
pieces to the clothing.
Oh Lord. So
there
it's
you
is
like
know,
it's like a little 2 inches. I mean, 24 inches dress. That's it, and it's all.
oh,
That's all they've got.
to each their own. Everyone has their own aesthetic, and we're not always going to agree with each other's aesthetic, but it's part of self-expression, and hopefully all the important parts were covered.
Some people express too much.
They might express a lot, but but it's part of their own creative expression. So we let them do that, and maybe someday they'll look back at these and be like,
that
I
didn't
should
quite
have chose
work.
differently.
No,
They're
I
not
see that.
they're not gonna regret it at all.
And I see you do music videos. So nowadays everyone wants to look like Rihanna and
Yeah. And
Meg The
there's
Stallion
another
and
one called Icy something another. What is
Oh,
that?
Ice Spice. Again,
Ice
there's a
Spice.
time
There
and a
you go.
place. There's a
time out.
time and a place. And as long as you know the
That's what I'm
time and the
talking
place,
about. That's what they want to wear to the prom. That kind of stuff. So
you know, that is their inspiration, that is their influence. But again, time and a place. You
yeah.
can be like Ice Spice when you are in your music video or you are doing those creative things, but
Hmm.
maybe prom or your business, your pitch meeting is not the place for that.
For a
And that's
Right.
fine,
graduation.
That's fine. Again, time,
It
place.
plays. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have you come talk to the kids. Time, place.
Time and a place when you want to create some content, and this is what you're marketing and you're selling, sure, but other things require a different aesthetic. There's
Yeah, a
nothing wrong
different
with
aesthetic.
either.
Right. And you should be able to dress up and dress down
Exactly.
and right, and understand that there is a difference, and you conduct yourself differently when you really understand, and it should fit your body.
It should fit your body, and also understand that Ice Spice is a character. You know what I mean? Like she's performing. She's a performer. So
Mhm.
that is part of her persona. When she is doing anything else, she might not look like that at all.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
prior to
Well, I've never seen her, looking any different than that. When she's on those award shows or music videos or in a concert,
exactly,
she looks the same way.
because that is when she is performing. before she was in those worlds, before she was on stage and presenting herself as this person, I'm sure
Hmm.
she looked completely different than what she does now. That is part of her persona, and she's selling you that package. So
Right.
you should see her looking the same in all of these different spaces. That is actually good branding
She
when you
sounds
really
like
think
she'll be
about
good
it.
for those kids, Crystal.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because our kids, they
It's good
don't,
branding.
it's the brand. And I know when I was in school, and that's a long time ago, but we kind of got a little bit of that. But the kids nowadays don't get that, and they wear just one uniform for
Yeah,
everything, no matter
everything.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
everything that everywhere they go, they look the same.
Fair.
Hmm.
But when you think of like, okay, Ice Spice was at the Met Gala. She did not look
Hmm.
the same at the Met Gala as she did at, the MTV Awards.
Okay.
So they have to think of it more so like that. Like there literally is a time and a place, and that is like how you want to operate. Like you can't show up in this space looking this way. Like that is a
Hmm.
very specific, branded,
Yeah.
like curated look.
Invitational, and if you don't fit the brand, then you find yourself not invited again.
Literally, literally, you will not get that invitation that next go round. So you want to make sure that you show up and you impress the first time, so you look like you belong there.
Right, exactly. So tell us about this event that's coming up.
Yes. So the event is on May 4th. It is from 12 to 5 p.m. It is the Local Love Mother's Day Marketplace. It is at a downtown Los Angeles rooftop. For more information about the location, you have to RSVP for the event. It is free and open to the public. Essentially, the idea came to myself and another grant cohort, Maya Intwistle, who is the owner of Bubble Champagne. We were talking about ways to collaborate as two entrepreneurs. She has a beautiful champagne cart, and I have my online boutique. And we're like, okay, how can we, do like a pop up? And essentially, I had access to a rooftop space in downtown, and I was like, okay,
Okay.
well, it's a pretty large space. So, we can open this up and like invite other, small business owners and make it a marketplace.
Hmm.
So essentially we've been in the planning process of everything, and we'll have some welcome beverages and then also some alcohol for purchase, different small businesses available. um, yes, different small businesses available to shop from and purchase that day. Our goal is essentially to kind of facilitate ecosystem, support, Black and brown small businesses and, BIPOC businesses, by exposing them to the local community, creating exposure, stimulating economic growth, and, of course, expanding their market reach through community.
Okay.
So for more information, I'll drop the
Yeah, please
web
drop the
address.
information in. I think that's wonderful that I love the fact that you guys, are meeting and learning to collaborate with each other, because this is how you build that network, right? And finding
Yes.
out that you have some synergistic that you can complement each other and I'm actually, I didn't get her information, or she and I briefly talked when we did the a Black History event, because I want her on the show, because I think having a
Yes.
champagne cart is just like so unique.
It is. And her story is so cool. So I feel like it would be awesome to have a conversation with her about like how she got into the business and like how she's, expanding and everything. Like excellent.
Well,
Excellent.
I'm gonna get her information from you, because I did want her on the show, and
Yes.
I don't think something happened. I don't carry cards. I do digital, but I think
Same.
someone called me away, and I didn't get a chance to get her contact information.
It
But I would
happens. It's
love to
okay.
have her to come on the business zone. I like the fact. Thank you. I like the fact that you guys are doing some really interesting things, different types of businesses, and
Yes.
businesses that are scalable. I love that about what you guys are doing.
Definitely. Definitely. It's been an extremely exciting, process. Definitely fun to kind of like to be able to collaborate with so many different other business owners. I think that's been like a really, really exciting part for me for sure. Because it's, sometimes like it's, as entrepreneurs, it can feel like very isolating. I think that was
Mm-hmm.
one of the common things that we all like agreed upon and understood, that it just felt, like you're doing all the things by yourself. And unless you have a business partner, you're kind of like, oh, I'm dealing with these different things. And you feel like you don't have anyone that can relate to you.
Mm-hmm.
But we found that we all have like very, very similar, challenges. And to be able to come together to like partner for any and everything is like just amazing. And honestly, any opportunity to like be able to share space and share community amongst one another has been like really, really exciting. So I'm really looking forward to it. I hope that everyone can come out and join us. It'll be a
Okay.
great time.
And what's the
Beautiful
date?
views.
It's on Mother's Day?
No, it is not on Mother's Day. It'll actually be
May
the weekend before,
4th.
May the
May
4th,
Oh,
4th.
okay.
the
May
first
4th.
Saturday in
Okay.
May.
Oh,
Now
I'm
on here I see where you have a Stella Rosa as a brandy. Is that a new
Yes.
thing?
well,
So
this is her commercials. These are your commercials?
yes, yes. So the Stella Rosa Brandy, that actually was a new launch. Now, I was not Brandy's stylist on that. She
Oh.
has her own team of beautiful, hair, makeup, styling team. But that was a new product launch, a collaboration between Brandy and Stella Rosa for their brandy.
Oh,
So
okay.
very, very exciting, very fun time. Learned
Okay. Now,
lots
did
of
you do this one with the sport span?
yes, Fubo
Well,
TV.
let's take a
Yes.
look at that. How about that?
Sports fans built a streaming
Yes.
service.
Fubo is like the best of cable, plus the best of streaming. Thinking of calling yourselves the Big Kick It because you're helping people kick cable.
Sorry, I feel like that's a little close to your.
Now, did you dress all these people?
Imagine
Yes.
reaching the big
You dress
kick
him?
it
So he
as you
actually, yes, I
dominate
did
the paint.
put together his pieces. However, he does
Live
have his
TV and
own.
sports and more, but mostly
He's a
sports.
very tall
Facts.
man.
Okay.
Yes, he
Yeah.
is. He's 7 feet. I think
Yes,
7'1".
he's so all of his things are custom. He
Yeah,
comes with his own personally like tailored items with
yeah.
his own personal, custom label inside from his guy.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So a lot of times what'll happen on these like sometimes you will have the opportunity to dress the celebrity who is on the set, depending. Other times it's like, okay, you have all these people, you make sure all of them look great, and you make sure he looks great too, but he's coming with his things. Because
Okay.
again, 7 footer, you can't buy that in the store.
Right. So he had
You
to
can't.
have his stuff customized.
Yes, he has customized to. I think he's the same as Gilbert. He's like, no, I like my things with this specific seam here. I like
Hmm.
this space. I've never seen pants that long before in my life,
Yeah.
and I come from a family of tall men. My brother is like 6'5", but I've never seen pants.
Yeah. Can you imagine their beds? How big their bed has to be? Because
They have to be custom built. They
yeah,
have to be custom built because again, I remember holding up the pieces, and I was like, oh my
you're
gosh.
holding up the pair of pants like this.
Yes, I'm like seaming these things, getting these ready, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like
It's taller
this is.
than you.
I was like, these are nice, but this is a long pair of pants. Like,
Yeah.
How
It's
cool
good
is
what you're
that
doing
though?
though. It's
I
good what
like
you're
it. I
doing.
love it. I love
Yeah.
it. And so she has a couple others, so you guys can go over to her website. I'm gonna pull it and put it in the chat, and you
okay,
So
guys
it's
can check her out.
www.
oh, I think we
Oh, what
lost you,
happened?
Gilbert.
Where did Gilbert go? Gilbert has left the room. But he'll be back. But yeah, you definitely can go over and check out her website, guys. I'm just so proud of the things that you do. Oh,
Oh, thank you.
this is your actual business here, the
Yes,
Blaze and Spark.
that is the online store.
Okay, okay,
Again, as an entrepreneur, certain things are very separated. So, freelancing is separated from my online store, even though I do offer, like personal styling, but through Love is Bond. So, parent
Okay.
company, parent
Okay.
company, and then other, I love a DBA, or I'm like, oh, package structure.
Okay, okay, okay. And what was I going to ask you? There was one other question. So, if say a young person, young adult, is just moving into the business world, do you have like some package looks for them, or how do they? Yeah.
I'm thinking, well, I don't necessarily have packaged looks. I think that everyone is very different. I think of literally everyone is a unique individual, and everyone likes different things. So while I can give certain like standards or recommendations that I think that
Mm-hmm.
everyone should have in their wardrobe, for example, uh, a crisp white button up, that's a standard piece.
Okay.
Maybe a cardigan and like a navy blue or a black staple.
Okay.
Blazer, maybe even like a single button blazer in a neutral color or a black and a navy blue, standard, depending on where you're going to work. And I would say black, navy blue, even gray or
Okay.
neutrals.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on where you're going to work, you can have some flexibility with those things. Maybe you can throw a lot of color in there if you're not going to be in like a corporate space or something like that. You could play around and make it a little more fun. There's workarounds for everything. Depending on what your business is, you might be if you're going to be an Ice Spice, your performer, your look is going to look a little bit different versus versus someone who might be a florist,
Yeah.
like that'll look a little bit differently. Like, so you can have some flexibility in how you're showing up, and it just really depends on like what you're offering, and if your aesthetic is kind of part of your offering as well.
Yeah. And I I love a well dressed man, and I love a man that actually knows what works for them and what doesn't work for them. But
Thank you,
Agree.
co-host. Thank
yes,
you.
I do. I love and when a man has got a really nice tie, I got a thing for men and their ties.
It's so fun. It's like, that's so you thought that through.
Yeah, I like you like to go. That's a well dressed man over there, and they smell good and all that. That's what women are looking for when
You
they
know,
look
you
for
know what the song says, right? A
what.
woman goes crazy for a well-dressed man. You
She
never heard that
does.
song before?
No,
That's ZZ
but
Top. ZZ Top. They said a woman goes crazy for a well-dressed man.
it's true. It's true.
She does. She does. She is
Yes.
looking for a man, and whether he and can he dress well in jeans and his
Hmm.
sport attire, and then be
Yes.
able to do the formal thing, but with his
Yes.
own little flair. But to know that you can dress nice, right?
Exactly. You can navigate all of these different types of spaces.
Right. So
That
that's
is
a good thing.
impressive.
Yeah, I like to
Hmm.
have my own little flair. I don't like to dress like everybody else. I don't wear
See?
designer stuff. That's
It's
just
okay.
just me. I,
I
I
don't think
like
you
my
have to.
unique stuff, but I want it to look really good.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Everyone is different and everyone likes different things. So
Hmm.
you should be able to, wear your like unique things and just have them like perfectly fit you. And that makes you happy, right?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm, hmm. And
Now,
I think that's the key, is to make sure
exactly.
that is properly fitted to you, and that you're not pulling and driving and adjusting the whole time
Fair.
that you're wearing it, because that you
I
look like
know.
you're uncomfortable, so everybody else sees you as uncomfortable.
That's true. That's true. Well, I feel even for me though, like certain things when they slide, like even my top might slide around, but I think my eye, like my professional eye, I'm always gonna make adjustments, even if I think they're subtle. I'm like trying to like shift and adjust because I can't. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, oh my god, it's out of place. So I'm
Right,
like
right.
secretly freaking out about it. But
They're not all that confident, but yeah, no,
I'm
clothing
like,
sometimes makes a person.
fair. Might be very confident in it, but I'm like, okay, like I don't want it to be too far off, like so.
Yeah, yeah, you
You just
got
have to
it.
be aware and like
Yeah.
prepare for it if you can. Prepare
I
for it.
quite agree with you.
Wardrobe
Definitely
secrets.
agree. Yeah.
Yes.
So you guys, I
Listen,
hope you guys were taking notes, because those are
yes.
some great tips for dressing and styling. I like to, you can do my thing right now is I'm going with blazers that have that are a statement piece, and then just a
Yes.
dark pair of slacks or whatever underneath that, and that's all you need. And then some simple earrings, and there you go.
Yes.
It fits with the style. You have to have your style. You have to know what your style is.
Exactly. You have to know what works for you and your
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
body. Hmm.
Exactly. Well, I'm going
Yes.
to definitely put you guys on the calendar for the event on May 4th and come out and support you all. And I am just
Yes.
thrilled that you're working together and doing some collabing because that's important.
Yes. Yes. You'll see
Yeah.
a few of us there.
And we're looking forward to seeing you on some style magazine doing your thing.
She will
And
be.
I would
yes.
love that. I can't wait.
You know who I think co-host. You know who I think will be good to pair her up with.
Who?
You remember Brittany, our social media person who
Oh, yeah.
showed us how to do Google and I mean YouTube. Those two will be well together because
Yes.
Brittany has a fashion thing that she does, fashion line. So both of
Okay.
them working together I
Yeah,
think would
and
be good.
Brittany is
Yes.
a content creator.
Yeah.
She's out of
Oh,
Vegas, but she's mastered how to monetize her whole content thing. She has
yes.
I think she has 3 content houses, and
Ooh,
yeah, so she's pretty
yes.
cool. I'll send you over her information, and
Please
then
do.
our show that we did with her. But
Yes.
she's using her content, and she's good at this stuff, and
Yeah.
but she's using it to fund her she's going to school to be a
Her
doctor.
pursuits for
Come
college.
on,
Yeah,
Yeah.
doctor.
yeah, she wants to be. So she has 3 podcasts out there. One is on fashion, one is on DIY, and then
Okay.
one is on
Is it
the bioscience, which
yeah,
is a whole
medical
on the other
space.
side of what she does, but she's just
I'm obsessed.
really cool.
Yes.
I think both of them would work well together.
Yes, definitely. I could use, some content creation tips and things. I was literally just having a conversation with a friend about this, about like how to like create content and like logistically thinking
Hmm.
about how to do it. I'm like, it's just like a production. Like you think of all the shots you need, and this is how, like, if you reverse engineer it this way, this is how you do it.
Hmm.
So, but to talk to someone who does this like
Yeah.
successfully, I would love
Yeah.
please introduce us.
I would.
Like,
She's amazing. She just in the little short period of time she was on the show, she gave us some really great little tips that
Yeah.
have I've
yeah.
incorporated in. And there's another lady. I don't know her name. She was a model,
Ooh.
and she has a show. uh she has a podcast. She pops through every now and then through my feed, and I'm gonna share it with you because she's pretty
Yes.
incredible. She's an African woman, very
Oh.
tall, and she was a model.
Okay.
Now she's a mom, and but she's giving you fashion tips, and
Yes.
like she'll go, how to wear a strapless bra, and then she'll actually go in and demonstrate that. And she started her content in her podcast a couple years ago, and she's
Okay.
grown massively. The other day when I was having my shoe problem, she actually I watched the video that she did on how to work the shoe, so I could see you doing that. And she does it
Yes.
on just little 30-minute segments
Okay.
on her YouTube. So as soon as I
Yes.
remember, I'll look back because I've saved her in my feed, and I'll share that with you and Brittany.
Thank
I think
you.
you and Brittany could actually do some real good synergy together.
Yes. Yeah. I thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're
That's
so
that's
welcome.
that's what we do here on the business zone, man.
I
We
appreciate it. I
connect
appreciate it.
people. We're the connectors.
Yes. That's how you
Yeah,
have to be. It's
yes,
necessary.
we
Has to be.
do. Well, it's been a great conversation. Gilbert has to
Thank
go get
you.
Gayla ready.
Come
Yeah.
on. Get Gayla ready,
You're gonna have to
Gilbert.
get all dolled up. If you weren't so far away, you'd be here to tell me, oh, okay, wear that tie with this.
But so we're
Yes.
gonna let him go do that. But it's been awesome having you on the show. and we're so pleased to have you here.
Thank you so much.
And I'm gonna come out on the 4th so I can see what you
Yes.
guys two ladies are doing and support the other vendors.
Yes, yes. I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you so
Okay.
much for having me, both of you all. Thank you for all that y'all are doing. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
thank you. And you'll be able to find this on this show is streaming at the present moment on Facebook and several
Yes.
Facebooks actually, YouTube and LinkedIn. And so you can go over to the Business Zone and pull it up. I think you actually can pull it, but I'll send you the link over to it. And
Perfect.
I want to go in and do all the keywords and stuff like that, and put it in its proper place, and then you can
Yes.
take that and I'll do some clips of it so you can add those over to your site. Can
Awesome.
you
Thank
actually said
you.
some amazing things
Oh,
that definitely for new business owners on why it's so important to
Yeah,
maintain the back office of their business. So
yeah,
seriously.
definitely. And that's
yeah,
It
key. That's really key.
it is.
Have
It
your back
cannot be
office.
overlooked.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Well, we
awesome,
thank you
awesome.
for being on the show here, Miss Bond.
Thank you both.
And are you an only child? Do you have siblings?
No, I have plenty of siblings.
She's a plenty.
I
Plenty
come
of
from a
siblings.
blended
Got
family.
a football field full, right? Football team.
No, not quite a football team, but it is a blended family. My both of my parents were remarried, so I have a lot of siblings.
That's
I
cool.
am, the youngest girl. So
Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's a cool thing to be.
So they're all watching over you, taking care of you, looking out for you, right?
yes, or I'm watching out and looking out for them.
Ah,
So Thanksgiving is amazing, right? With everybody
Yes.
there.
It is a fun time. When I go back for Thanksgiving, since it's so close to Christmas, a lot of times I will stay in Los Angeles and spend that time with my extended my LA family.
Yeah.
okay.
And
Are
yeah,
you
and
from
then
the
go
East
back on
Coast?
Christmas.
Are you from the East
Yes.
Coast? Where?
I'm an East Coaster
Where
originally.
where in the East Coast?
Maryland.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Right outside of DC. So
So
okay.
is
I
it
like Maryland.
Baltimore or another city?
not Baltimore. I'm in the the metropolitan area, or grew up in the metropolitan area, in Prince George's County, like the
Ah,
southern part of Prince
Oh.
George's.
Yeah,
So,
Crystal went there recently. She
oh,
took some kids there to play
Prince
yeah.
George.
tennis.
We did the tennis tournament there, but I used to go to George Frazier. I used to have the Power Networking Conference. You actually should look into that. That happens every June or July. I'll send you that information as well.
Please
But he
do.
used to do it they're doing it in South Carolina this year. But they used to do it for like 4 years. I went to Prince George, beautiful area, and
It's
yeah, and we were at the where were we at Marriott? I think that's right there on the water.
oh, in the National Harbor.
Yeah, actually, the what's the it's not the Marriott. It's the maybe it was a Marriott,
Is it the wait?
not the
It's the big one,
Marriott.
the Gaylord.
Yeah, the Gaylord. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
and
Yes.
so he used to do, and so he still does the Power Networking Conference. You can Google it. George Frazier is this major networking guru, but he's a business coach. But he's all about Black business and making sure it uplift all the Black the business owners, and that you're operating at your ultimum. So it's designed for you to meet and be in the room with billionaires, and
Okay.
there's the whole weekend is 4 days of intensive business coaching and
Okay.
networking. And so at the Gaylord Palms, so the history was one of the ladies that was involved with, she's one of the MCs, but she's involved with the Power Network Conference. Her grandfather actually owned the land
Okay.
right there on the water. And so it was just land. So he told his daughter, I want you to go find me a hotel that we can put on this land. And so it was the Gaylord Palms that it was. I think it's changed hands or something now,
Okay.
um, but the land they own, and
I
in the
love that.
codicil, because when I went in there, beautiful hotel, but I noticed that all the staff was Black, and I'm like, whoa, what's happening up in here? I mean, from the front door to the catering service. Everywhere you look, people look like me. I'm going, all righty then. And
Yes.
so finally I had to go, okay, this is unusual. What's happening up in here? And so the young lady told me that in the Maryland area, this was the most sought after hotel for Black people to work at. And
Okay.
it took a while to get in there. But in the codicil of the cell, it was that uh, 3/4 of the staff had to be
Have to
Black
be.
throughout all the time. You know, and
Okay,
for the
come on.
duration of the that was
Ownership.
of the ownership of the July 13th. The July 10th to the 13th is going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
He should be here soon, and when he does, he offers some amazing prices. It's usually a $1,500 conference, but when he comes to LA, he's usually offering it for about $400.
Okay. Come on.
So when he comes, I'll find out the dates that he will be here. Generally next month. He usually comes here, and I'll make sure you're invited to what he does here because he's incredible, George Frazier. But I was just so impressed with the service. The hotel was just pristine, and and all of the facilities was just absolutely amazing.
Yes, I love that. That is amazing. I feel like that area is predominantly Black,
Yeah.
and you feel it when you're there. It's a very grateful to be from a space like that where you see different types of, people that look like you and different types of representation. I think it makes a drastic difference in kind of how you show up in the world.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, because all y'all walking around with confidence. And Gilbert, I've never seen so many people in procurement and supply diversity in
yes.
DC. It's a whole nother ball game there. Whereas our businesses sometimes don't know quite what to do with all that, but they
Yeah.
making money in DC and predominantly in the procurement and supply diversity area
Because,
and with the
because,
government.
because they're
Yeah.
right there with the federal government, man.
Mhm.
That's where all the federal money gets approved and released.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can see the
500
wealth.
billion, man. 500 billion.
Yeah, you can see the wealth in Prince George in
Yeah.
Maryland. And there's some other little areas that are around that Maryland, Delaware area that is,
Northern
the
Virginia.
in Northern
Yeah.
Virginia. Yeah, my cousin lives in Lofton, Virginia.
Okay. So
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
there. When I came, we went to Obama's first inauguration. We stayed with him and hung out. We had a ball
Yes.
in DC. I could actually live in DC.
Fair.
Not during the time right now, but
Yeah, no, not right now. But
but if there was a different person that was going into but DC's got an energy that is
yes.
really different than anywhere else, even New York. And I like New
Yes.
York as well, but it's got
Chocolate
a real
City.
Chocolate City, and it's got a very
I've never
it's
heard that
urban,
described
but
like
it's
that.
progressive.
Yes, it is. You've not heard that
Chocolate
before.
City.
That was like the thing. Like
Yeah.
it used to be called Chocolate City.
Yes, she's right. It was. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have Howard, and you have you have the government, you have Howard, you have a lot of like very educated Black. Well, not beyond that, it's just very predominantly Black areas or pockets. So it's Chocolate City. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very, very, very nice. You'd
Now
like it, Gilbert.
Yeah, I'd love to check it out.
We have to go on a little trip, Gilbert, to
Yes,
DC.
definitely.
Yeah,
I
we'll
think
wait
you'd
till
enjoy
after this
it.
election though, and make sure that
Yeah.
when Biden's in there, we'll go. We won't be going there if that other man gets
Give them
there.
some time, right? Give them some time to make sure they don't act up again, and then then drop it.
Yeah, like the Burning Man today. But
Right, exactly.
That
Yeah.
is crazy.
Insane.
Oh, all righty, Amber. It's been awesome. We want Gilbert to be fresh when he heads
Yes.
out to the
Yes,
gala because he's got to represent
definitely.
me and him.
That's right. We got to represent.
I hope you all have
But
a
it was
wonderful
certainly a pleasure having you on here, Amber. This is
Thank
good,
you.
refreshing to have a style. We never had a stylist on the show before,
Really?
so
No, we didn't.
It's
No, we
good.
haven't. No, we haven't. So
Yeah,
it's
this is
awesome.
good.
Wonderful to have you here.
Yeah.
So, Gilbert, what we're going to do is thank you, Gregory, for joining us. He's just getting hot in here,
Yeah.
and he's put the information in for the Power Networking. So, if you want to put it, I can. But I'm gonna send you all that information and some introductions to the two ladies that we've spoken to. And
Perfect,
Gilbert,
thank
I guess
you.
what we're going to do is we're going to sign out with our sign in because I don't know where our outro is.
I guess we'll do that. I guess we'll do
Unless
that.
now, wait a minute, I'm going to check and see if it absolutely came back because the few
No, it's
minutes
not here because I've been
it's not.
checking. It's
You've been checking,
yeah,
okay,
I've been
all right.
checking. It's not here.
Because some other stuff came back, so we're gonna
Yeah.
have to. I gotta go find that before the next show. But
Right.
so we're gonna go out with our come in.
Yes.
So it's certainly a pleasure, folks, and thank you for joining us here on the Business Zone today. This is the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We're on every Friday from 3 to 4:30. And of course, on the Business Zone, we provide coaching, advice, consulting, counseling, and all of those things for small businesses. We help you to get business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. And we also help you to set up your back office, show you how to set up your books, set up your accounting system so that you can be efficient and be a dynamic small business so you can tap into that $500 billion that we're talking about there in the federal government coffers. So,
Come on.
folks, join us again. Make sure you go to YouTube and hit that subscribe button so that we can send you any notification or any materials that we share on this show. And also, feel free to go check out our 700 videos. Our anniversary is coming up in July, folks. We'll be 8 years in the business. So check it out.
Check it out. All righty, Amber, thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for being our
Amber.
guest today.
you,
And we are going to sign off. Oh, what's happening
Where's our
here?
audio?
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an